In this video lesson, we'll continue on with envelope generators, and now the mod envelope in Reason Subtractor. Let's look for some similarities: attack, decay, sustain, release, so same as here in the filter and amp envelope. We also have the invert button as we did in the filter envelope. We've also got the amount control as we did in the filter envelope. Here we have our modulation matrix, where we will be controlling or modulating different things with this envelope generator. So we can choose to modulate the pitch of oscillator 1. We can choose to modulate the pitch of oscillator 2. We can choose to modulate the mix between oscillators 1 and 2, the frequency modulation control, the phase control, or the cutoff of filter 2. All right, so let's start with oscillator 1 and see what happens. I'm going to play a key and move some controls. Nothing at all. Okay, let's go ahead now and increase the amount and see what happens. I hear a change in pitch. So it quickly sweeps up and then comes back down to its original pitch. So C and then back down to C. Let's see, increase the decay time. There we go. Let's increase the attack time. Okay. Now I'm going to keep holding the note C here. You can hear it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my decay and sustain stages in my amp envelope to get those out of the way, so the note just keeps sustaining at a very loudest volume level possible. Okay. So you're hearing coming back down to C. All right. Now, the sustain stage here is what is the level, or in this case, the pitch, going to be as long as I keep my finger on the key. Right now, I've got the sustain at its lowest point, so it's sustaining at the note C. Watch what happens when I raise this. Now it's sustaining at a note other than C, higher than C. And it won't come back down to C until I let go of the key. But you didn't hear it come back down, did you? Let's increase the release time. There we go. Now you can hear it sustaining at a higher level. Increase the release time. Still nothing. Still nothing. That's because I have to go over here to my amp envelope and increase the release time on that envelope generator so that the amplifier doesn't close down while the pitch is while it's going through the release stage here in the mod envelope. So let's open that up, and now we'll hear the release stage here. Okay, and now letting go. And there we go. So understanding again the stages and how it impacts the pitch of the oscillator, but also a little bit of the interactivity of the envelope stages. Okay. Oscillator 2 would be very similar to what we just did, or really exactly what we did in oscillator 1. We just have to turn it on, but we can't do both at the same time. Let's go ahead, and while we're here, let's look at the invert. Okay, so here we can let me change my polyphony to 1 there. All right, so let me set that back there. All right, now let's go ahead and invert. So instead of the pitch of the oscillator going up and then coming back down, with invert, the pitch is going to sweep down and then rise back up. There we go. Let's let it sweep down a little bit more slowly. Now it's going through its decay stage, rising back up. And now I'll let go of the key. Let's do it again. Now it's going through its decay stage. Let's see what happens when we change it to sustain level. So you can hear that it changes the offset of the setting of the pitch while we're holding the key down, and then the release stage. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put those kind of back to where they were. There. disengage the invert button, and let's go down to mix. Okay, what we're doing is controlling the mix here. So let's get two distinctly different waveforms going. Let's get the triangle here, and let's take that out. And there we go. And let's hear the other side. And now let's see what happens when we put the envelope generator in. So now you can hear as I increase the amount, it's the same as me going like this manually. And now I'll let the envelope generator do it. Okay. Frequency modulation right here. Let me take the envelope generator out of the way, turn down the amount. I'm going to change this to, excuse me there, triangle wave. And now let me turn off oscillator 2. Turn this control. Nothing. Now I'm going to change, or I'm going to turn on oscillator 1. And you can hear those sidebands. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the mod envelope do what I just did manually with attack, decay, sustain, holding at the same place, and then release. Okay, here we go. So FM, increase the attack time. There we go. Increase the release time. Okay. Finally, well, not finally, but let's do phase here. Let's bring these back to center. And now we'll be working with this control right here where it says phase. Let me turn off oscillator number 2. I'm going to pick square wave here. Let me just do it manually. Play and hold a key. I don't hear anything. I've got to go into subtractive mode, so now I can hear the phase relations between the two positive and negative stages of the waveform change. There we go. Now that I hear that harmonic signature change. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll set that all the way there, and I'll let the envelope generator do attack, decay, sustain, and then release. Okay, let's see what we get. Alrighty, let's do a long attack and kind of a longer release and phase. There we go, and there you can hear it. And then you hear when it shuts back down, and that envelope generator returns it back to its original position there. Okay. Finally, frequency 2. The envelope generator for the filter envelope generator, this one is dedicated to only filter 1. If we want to do something with filter 2, not only do we, of course, have to turn it on, but we can use this to control the filter frequency of number 2. So we'll be controlling this control here. So let's go ahead and do that, okay? And I always like doing it with noise, so I'm going to go ahead and get my noise generator going here. All right, so I'm going to open up filter 1 all the way, and now turn on filter 2. Let me go ahead and, there we go. Turn filter 2 off. No change there. Let me go ahead. Oops, let me turn that down there. All right. Okay, now let me turn filter 2 on. There you go. Now you see its control. Let's turn it off just to see it again. Nothing. Turn it on. All right. Let's lower it and now see if we can get modulation envelope to have an attack, a decay, a sustain, and then a release back down to its original setting. Okay, here we go. So let's raise the attack time, decay, sustain, and have a release time there, and open that release field there. Let's see what happens. So the more I increase the amount, the farther up this opens up, the higher that frequency cutoff is raised. Let's go all the way. Let's put it back down. Just a little bit. All right. So modulation envelope, again, attack, decay, sustain, and release, the invert control, the amount control, and then your modulation matrix.